Got 3 inches. We might as well change it right now.
Good morning. It is another day of working in the shop. We're working on the heavy wrecker and a bunch of other stuff. There has been so much stuff happen this weekend. We went up to Nephi to help with the demolition derby up there. We were judges for the show. We were hanging out with Fab Rats. We were hanging out with Robbie Layton. We were hanging out with a bunch of friends. The whole derby community was up there. It was fun to go back and do all that and see all those people. We saw some cars get smashed, ate some delicious food. We drank some stolen soda. Like, it was amazing. So we got a call from Jennifer. She's with the Juab County Demolition Derby, and she asked if we would come up and help judge the derby up there. I said absolutely. So here we are.
We all said absolutely. We're dying to see a derby.
I derbied for almost 10 years. We've kind of been out of it for a couple of years, and my kids they're a little bit bummed about that. So we got some friends running in it. You guys, most of you know Robbie Layton. He's going to be running in it. We're going to be hanging out with Paul and the Fab Rats crew. So we just thought we'd take you along and kind of show you a little bit about what this is all about and have some fun. So some of you know this, a lot of you don't. I've known both Paul and Robbie for years and years. We all met through Demolition Derby. I never have ran against Robbie, but I've ran against Paul. Oh my goodness, have I ran against Paul. So that's how we became friends, running the same class and smashing into each other. It was kind of 50-50. Paul would win some of the matches and I would almost win others. Woo-hoo! I'm consistent, second place, 3 years in a row. And that went on for years. So it was a pretty good time. So I can't remember, it might have been the first time I ran against Paul, but anyway, I got knocked out. Like unconscious. It was great. I got knocked silly. I never knew what that meant. It wasn't painful or scary, just silly.
Not scary for you. Me and Paul were scared.
So then the next year I came to the same show and I ended up beating them, and that was like 14 minutes of just hard driving. Like, it was a battle to the bitter end, and it wasn't like this is the furthest from a blowout you could possibly have. Lots of other shows, just smash after smash, hit after hit. But yeah, anyway, I eventually had to get out of it because I was just too busy doing other stuff, and I'm getting old.
It smells amazing.
We're just reliving the glory days. That's all.
I got your tickets.
How's life treating you?
Pretty dang good.
Look, wire.
Hey, man ties in 2 weeks. Have a car ready.
My starter decided to take the back seat and not work.
It was awesome. I really enjoyed it tonight. It was fun.
It's been too long since I've been to a derby. Thinking about building a car. Robbie called me out. He wants to beat me up in a demolition derby, so I'm thinking we might do it. Like I said, we're in the shop working today. We're going to be working on the wrecker for a minute. We're going to be working on the golden nugget today. We're going to adjust your pedals and your seat, try to make it more comfortable for you. Okay. So we just got a couple things to do on this, and then we're going to be working on the nugget, and then we're going to go get a milkshake. Oh yeah, I've been working on this thing too, kind of in secret without the cameras on. Let me show you what we've done. So Trevor's got this big bus bar here. This is the power distribution block to run all the winches, and actually basically everything's pulling off of here, isn't it? Like, we want to keep the connection to the batteries as simple as possible so that servicing those is going to be less difficult than the maximum, which is pretty close to the maximum. The batteries are going under here. They're not going to be fun to get to. Let me show you this tank vent. There's 2 vents on this tank. There's one on the left front and there's one on the right rear. So that means no matter which way this is setting, one of the vents will always be out of the liquid. If they come up here, they tee together. This is the top of the tank. This is way higher. We shouldn't have any liquid ever get into this. But if we do, we have a game plan for that. So the vent comes up across here through this thing, goes into this thing, and this is sealed top and bottom. It comes up, and then this is the vent. If we ever get any liquid spill into here, we'll be able to fill this clear up to here with liquid before it splashes out of here, drips on the exhaust system, and the whole thing ignites in a big ball, a fiery ball of flame and explosions after explosion. It'd be like a Michael Bay movie. From day one, when we were talking about mounting the boom, we talked about having multiple points so that it was adjustable. Like, if it doesn't work here, it might work here. If it doesn't work here, it might work here. It's even possible that we could come down even lower. I snuck in last night and welded, kind of moved this. And then this morning I just barely welded these so they're hot. You can tell because I'm touching them. All right, there's been a lot of comments about the size of the pin I'm using. I'm using a 1-inch bolt. Right now I've got a grade 5 in here. So even with a grade 5, I'm gonna have over 80,000 pounds of shear per side. And we're gonna be lifting razors primarily with this, maybe Jeeps. It's not made for 1-ton trucks. It's not made for RVs. It's not made for any of that. It might do that, but that's not what we're making it for. We're making it primarily for razors as far as lifting, primarily for RVs and big trucks for like kinetic pulling.
If Skeeter's spine can lift
A
a
razor.
razor,
2 of these can. So we're gonna just start putting this together, and that's that. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's, do you want to pull all those fittings out? And let's get all the hose clamps on here. All right, this is designed so that the highest point of the vent system will never be under the fluid level no matter what. And if it rolls upside down, the way it's designed is it won't drain. So this can be laying on any side without spilling fuel. All right, let's come back here, Lizzie. I want to talk about something that we got a lot of comments on. We've got a lot of comments on how this looks like a face. I took notes because I wanted to address all of them because they're all awesome. One of them is C3PO. I don't know. A little bit. I can see that.
Who's C3PO?
I have no idea.
Yeah. We got a couple of ET. This one I don't understand as much, but we actually got like 2 or 3 comments that it looks like a grasshopper. Praying mantis, Spike from Gremlins. They say it looks like a transformer.
Never seen that either.
What rock do you live under, Lizzie?
A rock and hurricane.
We got Wally, but the #1 commented. We got over 100 comments that this reminds them of Johnny 5 from Short Circuit.
yes.
Honorable mention, we had 1 person comment this. They think it looks like Ringo from Ringo.
Yeah, I see that. Hey, Lizzie, there's a whole bunch of date night movies you can go watch.
Like I have time for that.
Follow me, Jamie. Oh, this is our lovely camera lady today.
She's way cuter than that angry garden gnome they usually have recording.
Boom, boom, boom. So we've been getting a lot of comments about how heavy this is going to be. Lots of people speculating that it's going to be too heavy for the motor. It's going to be too heavy for the sand. We got a lot of these comments when we were building the Morrvair also. So every time we would weld something, then the comments would come in. If we had a video about welding, oh, you're putting all that steel, it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier. It's never going to work. Well, the Morrvair works, and this is gonna work too. So let me tell you the process here. So long time ago, when we were still scribbling on napkins and drawing on whiteboards, we were calculating how much steel was gonna be going into this. I knew how much the axles weighed, I knew how much the wheels and tire combinations weighed. Steel is really easy to calculate the weight. I know how much this C-channel weighs per foot. I know how much a sheet of 1/8 inch steel weighs. I know how much all of it weighs. We know the parts that we need. We don't know exactly how they go together. They haven't been engineered and designed, fabricated, but we know approximately how much steel it's going to take to make, like, the brackets to hold a gas tank, to make a boom, and how much to make a roll bar, and how much to make a skid plate. We even calculated how much welding wire it was going to take. So we calculated that this was going to take 6 spools of wire to build. So far, we've used 3.5 spools of wire on this job. We're somewhere around 150 pounds of welding wire into this right now. So when we were calculating this, we always averaged the weight up. At least 100 pounds for every single item. And what that does is make it so that we are coming in way under our projected weight. Now, we want this to weigh 12,000 pounds. These tires and the contact patch that they have, at 12,000 pounds, this will have less pounds per square inch on the ground than the Morrvair has. So it will go through the sand just fine. We don't start getting into difficulty till about 16, 17,000 pounds. That's when this thing starts to be less effective on the sand. We're coming in way under that. So right now we're less than 10,000 pounds with everything, when we have everything on here. And like I said, we're running out of things to put in it. We've got seats and steering column, like all of the interior cab appointments. We're calculating that at 1,000 pounds. I know it's not going to weigh that much, but that's what we've got it calculated at. I think we're going to have to add ballast to get this to 12,000 pounds. Now, we're not going to do that. We're going to take it out and test it and run it. If it does what I need it to do at 10,500 pounds, we'll leave it at 10,500 pounds. So we erased the program on here by sparking the thing. Like if you trick the capacitor, like there's not enough capacitors to keep this from doing this.
So anyway, we wiped out the tune. I reloaded it. We just want to start it to make sure it's going to run again.
I knew it! Hey Siri, call Tom. Hey, I have a message for you from Trevor. And this is it. He says you would understand. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes. Yes.
Well.
He's taking a typing test.
No, we got this thing running again.
Fired it back up?
Yeah, I don't know why he tried to give you that in code, but. Okay, we're out of here.
All right. Excellent.
But. Okay, we'll do the gold nugget after lunch. We're gonna start hanging the exhaust on this. And I know this is the temporary exhaust. Let me reiterate. So the entire exhaust is temporary. We're gonna be using it with this motor as long as this motor's in here. But when we get the new engine, then we're gonna be going to a little bit bigger. It's gonna be a 500 horse, 700 foot-pounds of torque, monster big block. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. All right, so we just got a call, but we're waiting for information to come in, so we're just going to keep working on this till we get that information. Okay, Lizzie, find some nylocks. They're going to be coarse thread nylocks that fit these 7/16 bolts. Gonna be so close to the cab hitting that. Oh, that's a bummer.
You think it's going to hit?
Let's get a measuring tape and see for sure, because I was just measuring with my fingers. So from the center of this hole to the top of that rubber is 4 inches. From the edge of that hole to the center of this thing is 2 inches. So 4 inches and 2 inches. Let's go see if we have interference.
We got 3 inches. We might as well change it right now.
Huge bummer. So take these nuts off, take these off, cut these off, and then we'll modify that.
What are we going to do? Drop it down?
Gonna have to. A full inch.
We don't got an inch.
No, we're gonna have to build a thing. All right, so we're gonna do some quick and dirty surgery here. Glad I checked that. That would have been a bummer. Lizzie's gonna start welding.
Suiting up.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have to put a hold on the wrecker and get ready for this job.
All right, good morning. It is the next day. That job took till after dark, and it's a new day. We're gonna be working on the wrecker today, just finishing up this exhaust, and then we're gonna be pulling the gold nugget in here. Lizzie's not here today because she is up north picking up some stuff for Hefe. Trevor is around here somewhere. I think he's washing the Jeep. He's gonna be back here in a minute. We're gonna get after this. Yesterday, we found out that we mounted these too high, so we've kind of come up with this system. It is not elegant, but it will be functional. It's gonna be something like this. Who knows?
You like it?
Sort of. That was better. Did you hear the misfortune about the 6x6 we're building? Let me tell you a sad story. This is the truth. You can ask Rory about this. Here, let me put my storytelling hat on. I was super excited because me and Tom had been talking about what we could build to get razors out of the dunes. The trailer works, but it's hard for I can't just send Lizzie out there with the trailer. So we needed to come up with some kind of a rollback. As this was evolving and as we were talking, eventually it evolved into a 6x6. And I really want to engineer it and design it and make this rollback that'll go clear down on the ground with a rollback bed and scoop razors up on, really easy to drive, easy to get them out of the dunes. It won't go back into the rock trails and stuff. We have the trailer for that. But for the 99% that just go out to the dunes and yard sell them, this would be great. So I called my buddy Rory up. I'm like, hey Rory, I want to tell you about this super exciting thing I want to build. And he says, well, that's cool, but first let me tell you what I'm doing, and then you can tell me about yours. And he says, I'm building a 6x6 for razors. No kidding, no lie. And I'm like, oh. And then he's like, by the way, what did you call to tell me? And I'm like, nothing. Just check out and see how you're doing. But anyway, we're gonna build it anyway, even though it looks like we're copying Rory. It was an original idea.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, great minds think alike, and so do mine and Rory's. There's lots of ways to hang exhaust. This is how we're doing it. I've seen exhaust hung with baling wire with years and years of success. All right, that should clear. Okay, Trevor, we're about to listen to the exhaust. We are going to finish up the oil change on the Banana, and then we're going to lunch. All right, we've been breaking this engine in with some conventional Valvoline ZR1 high zinc. So now that we've reached our 3,000 mile mark, we have switched over to AMSOIL Z-Rod, full synthetic. And that's what this Golan 4.6 is going to be running on for the rest of its life. Oh yeah, we have some bad news. No sooner did we get the air conditioning fixed than this brand new air compressor seized up. We're gonna buy all new everything and get the air conditioning fixed just in time for winter.
How do you guys fit in here? If I barely fit in here.
You gotta go in like this. You have to commit half of your body at a time. You gotta put this knee in and under.
Wow.
So we've got two known problems here. One of them is these pedals are not comfortable for Ed. So we're gonna do a little hack and heat and bend and cut and trim and weld. And then the other problem is the master cylinder's leaking.
It's not just an O-ring, it's a like stepped gasket.
Well, that's not my problem. All right, let's see what this is gonna take. So I think my heel needs to be resting right there. I'm gonna put a sticker on that. That's plenty strong. Okay. Let's look at the gas pedal, or the brake pedal, while that is cooling. It is not pretty. Okay, I've driven this more than anybody, and this is a serious improvement. I can drive this to St. George now without complaining about my leg. This is so, have you driven this with the gas pedal the way it was? Nope. Okay, you can drive this to St. George, no problem now.
Oh, nice.
All right, this has been a crazy week. We started with the Derby, came back, worked on the record for a little bit, got the exhaust hung. We adjusted the pedals on the Golden Nugget. When Ed gets back, we'll see if it's better for him. And I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you, man.